Jennie live here, talking today about how perfectionism and procrastination are always in cahoots with one another. So my name is Coach Jennie, if you don't know me yet, and I am the expert who wrote the book on Hilda. Ooh, I called myself an expert. Hilda didn't like that. Hilda is the name of your inner critic, that voice in your head who's constantly holding you back and holding your ambitions hostage. So today I wanted to talk, excuse me. Today I wanted to talk to you guys specifically about how I don't know Hilda screws with you. So I don't know Hilda is one of the 4 BS beliefs of Hilda. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, click this button above. I'm going to put a little note here so that you're able to find out all about Hilda and how she shows up in these different ways. But specifically today, I want to talk about perfectionism and procrastination. Look, if you're watching this particular live stream live, you'll note that it started like 9 minutes late because I was having some technical difficulty. And perfectionism, Jennie, wants so bad for this to be perfect. And there was this thought in my head of like, well, it's not perfect. I'm late because I couldn't get the camera set up correctly. By the way, I figured it out. You just had to click that one button that I was missing a step because I was all frazzled about getting this done on time. And so because I wasn't perfect, I thought about just not doing it at all. I mean, it's totally fine. Nobody will know. And, also I've been doing this Coach Jennie live show for a while and I've decided to switch the format a little. So why even start today? It's not perfect yet. See, perfectionism and procrastination start to play a game together where you actually justify the procrastination because you haven't gotten it exactly right yet. If it's not perfect, why do it at all? See, I don't know Hilda wants so desperately for you to avoid the starting line because if you never start anything, half-cocked or half-done or imperfect, you never start anything because it can't be perfect and it's not good enough, then you're never going to fail. I mean, you'll never succeed either, but that's beside the point. She doesn't care about that. She just wants to make sure that you stay stuck and small and safe for as long as humanly possible. And that's no longer good enough, my friends. It's imperative that you get out of your own way and that you don't allow this perfectionism nonsense to become your MO. But I hear you out there thinking, but come on, Coach Jennie, perfectionism is a good thing. That's where I get my edge. I want to make sure that I come off as professional, that everything I do is really polished and good and right. I don't want to put out just any old thing. I don't want it to be kind of decent. I want to make sure that anything I put out there, especially when it comes to my business, is something that I can be really proud of. Yeah, I hear you. I totally do. And I want that for you too. But your first draft is never going to be like that. I often tell my clients about the story of Oprah, right? Now, I don't actually know any of these things are true, but I imagine that Oprah back in the 1980s was pretty uncomfortable in herself. When she took over and created the Oprah Winfrey Show, when that became a thing, she was basically taking over the time slot for Phil Donahue. Now, Phil Donahue, boring white guy with glasses, had been doing this for a very long time. And those first couple seasons of Oprah, it looked like she was trying to mimic what Phil Donahue had done, right? She was doing very similar kinds of shows and stories and whatnot. She was standing off in the audience, often holding her microphone, under her arms because she was really uncomfortable, didn't know where to stand and how to hold herself. But Phil Donahue did that, right? He did a lot of his questioning, not on stage. During the show, he would wander around the audience and ask questions from there. Now, you probably don't remember Oprah doing that because it wasn't very Oprah. It was very Phil. It didn't really suit her. But she tried really hard to make it happen. And then the other thing is, Oprah's hair, Oprah's weight, Oprah's body image, her fashion, everything has changed over the years. I imagine that Oprah looks back at those late 80s and thinks, oh my gosh, thinking that those were kind of, the charming years of the Oprah Winfrey Show. Certainly not what it became years later. After doing it for 5, 10, 15 years, she was able to build this into an empire and turn it into Oprah. And there was no training program on how to become Oprah, right? There's no information product that says, ooh, how do I become Oprah? She just forged ahead and did that because she wasn't afraid. Again, this is my opinion, but she wasn't afraid to make mistakes. She wasn't afraid to look silly. She wasn't afraid to look back on something and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. and have those charming years. She was willing to suck at first in order to get really great at something. And that's what I want for you. I want you to tell Hilda to shush. And you're right. Your first video, your first blog post, your first whatever is not going to be as awesome as your umpteenth. It's just not. And whatever you put out your first year in business is not going to be as crisp and clean and perfect as you want it to be. But it's never going to become great if you're unwilling to just go ahead and start and to put yourself out there. So today, my challenge for you is this. Draw a starting line on the ground and cross it. Whatever that looks like for you. And today I'm with perfectionism and making it just so. It's not going to be just so. Let it go. It's not going to happen. And it's okay. Because the truth is, the only way that you're going to succeed in business, in life, in anything, is if you decide it's worth the risk of it being imperfect. I'm going to be talking a lot about perfectionism this week, so watch the other upcoming videos that you're going to want to see. And if you're watching this later, you can watch them now because they're available. Oh, I like that. That makes me happy. Listen, guys, I'm here 9:30 a.m. Pacific time on the Coach Jennie channel. I hope you'll tune in. Please leave a comment below if there's anything in particular you would like me to hear about. I want to hear how your Hilda is helping you squander your potential, how she's holding you back, how she's holding your ambitions hostage so that we can shut her up just long enough to get out of our own way. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, guys.